Campuses all across New York. Mass arrest in Ulster County last night after police broke up an encampment at SUNY New Paltz.
Students are demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and for their school to divest from corporations that could be profiting from the war.
News 10 ABC's Karina Dominguez has been following the chaos from the New Paltz campus. She has more tonight on the demonstrations popping up there today.
Hundreds of students walked out of class and gathered right here earlier this afternoon, demanding the administration hear them out. They say at the demonstrations last night, their First Amendment rights were infringed upon.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Students walked out of the humanities department at noon, chanting throughout campus. Emily Pinson is from Albany, currently studying international relations at SUNY New Paltz. She was one of the protesters who was arrested last night.
They're dragging me by my hand. I have my wrist is still swollen. My friend got choked. I have another friend who got a gash on the head. They have a concussion and they said they need to go to the hospital. They ignored them for 20 minutes.
She says people were grabbed by the throat and dragged. She witnessed people getting beaten with batons.
They're tearing us apart.
Those gathered at the encampment said they wanted SUNY to do one thing: divest. Professor Mary Holland says students were nonviolent and police responded with excessive force. Recounting last night's events made her upset.
The sight of it's very upsetting, the sight of police in riot gear with dogs and clubs and guns coming at a bunch of peaceful protesters on my campus was awful.
The university says many protesters were not students. Evan Holland Shepler, Mary's son, was one of them. He says students who demonstrated in the 70s had more freedom to exercise their rights than students today.
54 years ago, New Paltz was a more accepting place for political speech than today.
He says what happened last night goes against what he learned in college in his civil liberties classes. SUNY New Paltz president Daryl Wheeler says students have the right to exercise free speech on campus, but defended the decision to use force, saying, quote, "I am duty-bound to uphold limits on time, place, and manner of free speech demonstrations without abridging the content of that speech." He called the rights to free speech and protests, quote, "expansive but not unlimited." Reporting in New Paltz, Karina Dominguez, News 10 ABC.